for additional math non-calculator, what are the main topics that can be asked and the different ways question can be asked. So let me just give you an overview of what this paper looks like. The paper is usually 80 marks and you are not going to be using a calculator in this exam. The first page you'll be provided with some of the formulas which can enable you work out different questions. You can be asked questions to do with trigonometry, and we are supposed to find different constants A cos B. We shall be able to see how do we work out a question like this. As far as this is concerned, we shall also look at under completing the square method. This is also another concept you really need to know how to work out, and then you can be able to use that. After you have completed the square, you can be able to determine the stationary point, coordinates of the stationary points, and then draw the graph for the modulus function. We also have question to do with quadratics. Quadratics, you'll be maybe given an equation like this, and you are supposed to find the exact solutions of these particular equations. You can also be given question to do with logarithms, exponentials, and also natural logs in order to work out and get your answers in exact form. So remember, you are not going to be using a calculator, so it will mean that you will not be get your answers in simplified manner. So you shall give your answers in exact form. Another topic that can be asked in this case is solving equations, and that is simultaneous equations, which involves linear lines and also quadratic lines. So we are going to see that also how you are going to work out. Make sure you prepare how to work out equation to do with perpendicular equation, parallel lines, and working out a perpendicular bisector. Yeah. Then we also need to ensure that we know how to work out with binomial expansion. You can see I have a question here where you are supposed to find the first three terms, and then you are supposed to use this expression that you have done in the previous section to find the independent expansion of this particular function that we have here. Don't forget to go through the concepts of concepts to do with finding the area of sectors, the arc length, and the perimeter, that is circular measure. So that is also another area that we are really expecting that it will be tested in the paper of tomorrow. Don't forget to look at polynomials, remainder theorem, and also factor theorem is also another possible candidate questions that will be tested in the exam of tomorrow. So we have a question to do with stating the range, and also finding the inverse of functions. Stating domains is also an area to focus on. Don't forget to look at logarithms, how to solve log equations, and also vector equation where you are supposed to find the constants is another area that you have to ensure that you know and you master how to work out in the before you sit for that particular exam tomorrow. So far that is it, what I had in store for you in this particular video. We have said about logarithms, we've talked about vectors, and also don't forget to look at geometric and arithmetic progressions, sum to infinity, and also we shall have kinematics. Kinematics is a calculus whereby you can be asked, maybe you are given the displacement, you are asked to work out the velocity and acceleration of the particle with that. We can also be tested on how to find area under the curve. Question like this ones also are quite key. So this paper, I've added the link in the description so that you can be able to download the paper and try to work it out by yourself, so that you can also check with the marking scheme that I've uploaded, so that you can be able to prepare for that exam. As far as equation of a circle is concerned, also is another area that we feel, and I feel that it will not miss in paper 1. So we keep our options open. If you are supposed to find the radius of the circle and the coordinate of the center of the circle, you can be able to do that. And then we are supposed to find the equation of the tangent. We have a question here that is going to enable you prepare on the same. We can also have application of differentiation, maximum volume, minimum volume, maximum surface area, minimum surface area, and also question to do with how do you determine is it a maximum. You are going to do the second order derivative of the part that you have, so that you can be able to say if the second order derivative is greater than 0, that's a minimum point. If it's less than 0, that is a maximum point. That's when you are supposed to state the nature of the stationary point. That question is here, 5 marks. So make sure you have an idea on how to work it out. Don't forget to go through areas such as finding equation of normals and equation of tangents that meet a curve at a given point. You need to know how to differentiate these kind of functions, and also you need to know how to perform this kind of integrations. So you can be able to check the link in the description so that you can be able to go through that. So basically that is the last printed page, so which means that I've taken you through all the possible ways the questions can be asked for additional Cambridge math. That is paper 1, which is a non-calculator paper. Now let me just give you quite an introduction of how you're supposed to work out some of these questions that I've brought on board at this given point. And if you are new to Profland YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that anytime I'm going to upload any other tutorial, you'll be notified. So you can also check the link in the description so that you can be able to go to our Patreon page, so that you can be able to download these papers that I'm having here, and also you can be able to get the PDF of the paper that you can be able to see there. So going into the paper so that we can be able to see how you are supposed to answer some of the questions that I've presented here. Looking at the first question here, we are told the diagram shows the graph of a cos bx plus c. Find the value of the constant a, b, and c. So the first thing that you need to do is to draw a midline. Yeah, so you see from the minimum point to the maximum point, the minimum point is -6 and the maximum point is 2. So the middle point, the midline here, is going to be across -2. So which will mean that the amplitude is going to be from -2 all the way to 2, which is going to be 4. So the amplitude, and if you can look at this here, this represents the amplitude. So which means our A is the amplitude in that case. So which means our A is going to be 4. So if you do that, you are going to earn 1 mark. From C, the midline is supposed to be on the x-axis, but it has been shifted 2 steps down. So we are going to say C is -2 in that case. So this is telling you how the function is displaced in the vertical axis. And then for us to find the value of b, which is going to enable us to get the period, we are going to say this is going to be a half. A half is going to be 480. So which means that if we look from this particular point 0 all the way to 480, we are having a half a wavelength, a half a cycle, because whatever we are having here is a quarter, and the other part that we are having here is also a quarter. So meaning from 0 to 180 to 480, that is a half a cycle. So what about 360? 360 will be 360 times a half over 480, and we are going to get it as 3 over 8. So 3 over 8 is going to be our value of B, because B usually represents how many cycles you have. B tells you how many cycles you have. This one is telling you how many cycles you have from 0 to 360. But you see from here, that's why I related a half is equals to 480. What about 360? And that is going to give us a value of what? That one is going to give us a value of 3 over 8. At that given point, if you are new to Proflan YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that in time I'm going to be uploading paper 2 of additional math prediction concept. You'll be notified. In Proflan YouTube channel, we do maths and physics for both Cambridge and Edexcel. So if you are new to this channel and you are joining in for the first time in Proflan, it's high time for you to subscribe so that in time I'll be adding and also uploading more tutorials. You'll be notified. In Proflan YouTube channel, we also have a Patreon page where we just move straight and we can be able to download these papers that you can be able to see I'm working on. So you need also to check in the description. There's a link that is going to direct you into that particular page so that you can be able to get this particular PDF you see that I'm having here. So this PDF I'm having here is basically this one is the alpha paper, this is the beta paper. Yeah, so this is the beta paper, this one is a beta paper, and also alpha non-calculator paper is here, so which I'm going also to add in the Patreon page. So make sure you go there, you grab your PDF, you grab your PDF. Yes, I can see Mez is here, and Mez VFX, hello sir, Mez from earlier for Edexcel. Great, Mez, for coming back. All right, thank you, Mez, for coming back. I've seen your comments in the live that your exam went on well for Edexcel. That's great, and that is amazing. I'm glad that the tutorials we did for Edexcel were of great help. So whenever you are told to express a function like this, actually my life is really affected because the network is really down. I think that's why we have to end this. So it's quite unfortunate that the network is really failing us, but you need to just go to the Patreon page so that you can be able to download these papers. You can be able to download. In fact, it's really failing me. The internet is failing me, but as much as it will allow us to continue, I'll be able to support you guys. So I really appreciate you, Mez, and I'm glad that your exam went on well. So let's focus to the next part. So you can be able to see here, you are given x squared plus 3x minus 4. You are supposed to write it in this form. So something that you need to remember is that you need to factor out 2 out. So you shall remain with x squared plus 3 over 2x. Then you complete this particular part here in order to get your form. All right, so whenever you are stating the stationary point or the turning points, you are going to pick the opposite sign of this value that is inside the bracket. It will be -3/4, and you shall take -41/8, and that becomes the stationary point. Then you can be able to sketch your graph as shown here, and you'll earn your marks. You are told find the value of k for which this one has exactly 3 values of x. The value of k will be a value of y at this given point, so you will be able to check which value we have here, and that is going to be, what is going to be this value of 41/8. 41/8. Find the exact solution of this. You will start this equation by saying let p raised to power third be m, and then we shall be able to make a quadratic equation which we shall solve, and then substitute the values of m once we have gotten them back to p. So you say p 1/3 is equals to 5/2 in order to do that. So this is how you are supposed to solve each and every question there. And if you are new to ProfLearn YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that anytime I'm going to upload more tutorials, you'll be notified. All right, so for perpendicular equation of straight lines, you need to understand how to find the equation of a perpendicular line, equation of parallel lines to another curve, or a perpendicular bisector of a line between 2 particular points. And this is exactly what you're supposed to do in order to earn your marks. Binomial expansion, you need to know how to expand and also identify terms which are independent of x. That's exactly what I have done here. I believe you have your paper so that you can be able to write and work out this in your paper. You can be able to download. So we also have the shaded region. We are supposed to find the area of the shaded region and also the perimeter. So you need to remember how to work at that before you sit for that exam tomorrow. For area of a sector, and we have mentioned that from factor theorem and remainder theorem, you may be given a question related to this. So ensure you have revised on remainder theorem and also factor theorem before tomorrow. Range and domain, and also sketching the graph, the inverse of a graph, because it's a reflection on the equation y is equals to x. Make sure also you've gone through those concepts. Right.